The toll house stands silent beside the river, its stones heavy with the weight of centuries. An old survivor from a time long past, a simple structure of flint and mortar. Its story began in the 12th century. Built for the prosperous merchants of Great Yarmouth, herring, wool, their fortunes tied to the grey sea at the river's mouth. They gathered in its main hall, voices echoing with arguments and sealed bargains. Its floors worn smooth by generations, it became a council chamber and courtroom where sober pronouncements of justice were handed down. A police station, order maintained with a firm hand. But a darker purpose crept in, staining its stones as the clang of iron replaced the sounds of trade. The toll house was preparing for its longest chapter, despair, preparing to become a jail. In the year 1261, a decree from King Henry III sealed the toll house's fate. It was officially granted permission to operate as a jail. Storage became cells, space for human misery. Pirates dragged from captured vessels, smugglers from foggy marshes, murderers, thieves and debtors, all cast into the same cold darkness. Perpetual twilight, foul air filtering through small high grates, unwashed bodies, damp straw, human waste, stones slick with the chilling dew, drips, shouts, shuffles, and unheard cries. Punishment was spectacle, heads and hands locked for ridicule and abuse. Whips tore flesh, branding irons marked felons for life. Hardened guards, a hardened place, the toll house, a machine of suffering. The years passed, and the jail's misery deepened. In 1645, paranoia swept England. Matthew Hopkins arrived, self-appointed witch-finder general. Cruel, manipulative methods targeted the vulnerable. Deprived of sleep, pricked for devil's marks, broken by fear. Trials were formality, verdicts foregone. 5 were found guilty, their names whispered through generations. Alice Cliswell, Bridgetta Howard, Maria Blackburn, Elizabeth Dudgeon, Elizabeth Bradwell. Led from the toll house for the last time and hanged nearby by a tide of hysteria. It was said the stones grew colder that day. The memory took root in the jail's soul. For 2 more centuries, the toll house continued its grim work while the hall above hosted council and courts. A paradox, civic life sitting atop a pit of suffering. Order and commerce within inches of chaos and pain. By the 19th century, overcrowding and filth drew public concern. 5 or more crammed into a cell. Stagnant, disease-ridden air, meagre food, cold and vermin. The old town-run jails were ending. Closure came in 1878. Prisoners were transferred to Norwich, iron doors opened and chains fell away. Silence returned to the lower levels after 600 years. Converted to a museum, its darkness reframed as memory. Yet the stones held their secrets, the silence heavy and watchful. One cold November night, the last guide locked the great wooden door. A biting wind whispered through the ancient walls. The silence felt thick, expectant, like the moment before a scream. A guard returned to latch a window. The air turned bone cold. From below, a dragging sound, like fabric, or perhaps a rope, drawn over stone. He told himself it was settling timber, though his heart hammered. The main cell door, which he had locked, stood slightly open. From the beam hung 5 old frayed lengths of rope. They swayed gently, as if in a breeze, though the air was deathly still. His light found 5 wet small footprints, as if made by women, ending beneath the beam. For a heartbeat, 5 shapes, a whisper like ice, cold.